Hello loves, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like and comment what you think about the video. Today we're going to do a Chadwick Boseman tribute set for Black Panther. So I've already done my pre-nail prep, which is the pushing back of the cuticles and the nail filing, and I'm putting on some Dehydrator. Now I have found when I put on the primer and all the nails, it's still kind of sticky, and I end up having to do some other things while making the nails. Kind of happens when you're a mom and you have other things to do. So this time I only primed the nails right before I went to put on, the polygel. So that way, if I had to stop and do something in between finishing the set, doing each nail, I could without having anything stick to it or worry about, what was going to get on it or messing up the primer. I don't have stiletto tips, so I ended up having to form them myself in the Dualforms. The process itself ended up being a lot easier than I originally thought it would be. You just have to make sure you have some good slip solution. So either acetone or the 91% alcohol I found is the best ones. A lot of the slip solutions that the kits provide you, because I do tend to use a little bit more slip solution, tend to leave bubbles and things like that in there. So I'll just go ahead and stick with the 91% alcohol or the acetone for now until I can find, a possible slip solution that doesn't do that. Sorry about these dogs, y'all. I guess there's some workers next door, so they're just barking and going in and out and being crazy, and dogs. That's all I can say. Anywho, so as you see, the nail turned out pretty well, so I was kind of impressed and a little proud of myself. So I continued on and shaped and formed all the rest of the nails. Make sure that you do cure it. I wouldn't do a flash cure or like a 30-second cure because it is the dark polygel. Make sure you do a full 60 seconds and then either add an additional 30 or another 60 because it is so dark, just to make sure it does cure all the way. The thicker the polygel you use, the more you're going to have to cure it. So because I didn't make them so thick and you could kind of see through them, I didn't have to cure it as much. Still needed to do at least a 2-minute cure on each one. But when it came time to cure the thumbnail, because that was a little more thick and bigger, I did have to do that one about 4 times to make sure none of the polygel was still sticky or uncured or oozed out the sides or any of that. So to get a firm, full, hard cure, just make sure you do it longer, a few more times, and check it to make sure that it's fully cured. I did forget to mention that because it is the Acrygel, which I tend to use a bit and I do like, it is a little bit more stickier, but it's a lot easier to shape and form than some of the other harder polygels. I guess because it has a little bit more of the gel and less of the acrylic. I'm not too sure. But either way, I do really like the Acrygel, so I do recommend it if you're trying to shape your nails or anything like that, because like I said, it does have more give. It is easier to shape, just kind of like a swipe of the brush, and it's moved and it's in its spot that you want it to be. So if you're trying new things, trying to do more shapes and things like that, definitely recommend to get the Acrygel. Also, forewarning, do not show the filing process, just so we could save some time and, you know, be able to watch the decorating part more, because we all know you have to file them just a little bit. There's not too much filing because, like I said, they were mostly shaped in the Dualform, so there's not that much filing. So I thought it was okay that we could skip that section and move on. Okay, so I did speed it up a little, just trying to make sure that I can get as much of the process in as possible without having to edit it out. And make sure that you wipe after you take off the Dualforms and everything is done, because it still does have that little sticky layer on it. And I always like to put on the hard gel, you know, just as again, because the nails aren't as thick as some people's, but they still need to be sturdy enough to not snap or break or bend. So I always add the hard gel on there, and that does also need to be wiped afterwards because that one is super sticky. But I like to use the lint-free wipes with the alcohol to wipe those off. That way there's no fuzzy things or anything stuck to them from like cotton balls or Q-tips or anything like that, but that's your choice. So for the little silver section that comes out of his suit for his panther claws, I just used regular silver, like Sally Hansen nail polish, and painted that on for the center silver stripe. You know, just so that kind of stands out to be the panther claws. regular nail polish to do any of the cleanup, like for the line work on the sides. That is, I use the 100% acetone with the paintbrush to clean those up. Now, the attempt that was made here was with a black chrome powder. I don't think it worked out very well. I thought I did it correctly. Maybe it's just because it's a black chrome powder. I don't know. There's something that either I didn't do correctly or it's just not correct. Something went wrong because it wasn't very black chromish at all. I mean, if you know what I did wrong, please let me know so that way I can fix it and try it again. Otherwise, it's just kind of like a waste because it did not turn out at all like it should have. So yeah, if you see what I did wrong, please let me know so I can fix it. This is a learning process for me as I go as well, because most of these things I'm just trying. So hey, trial and error. Let me know if you see something wrong. I will gladly fix it, or give me your tips so that way we can get this done together. Now, you know we couldn't have no bling, because what's the point if you're not going to put bling on it? So I had to add all the bling on at least one nail. Personally, that's my favorite nail, but that's because I like the rhinestones. I like the bling. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I attach the rhinestones and everything with the top coat. So this step itself is probably unnecessary, but I just like to make sure that none of these gems and jewels are going to come off. And I add the extra layer of top coat, which I use the paintbrush to get it around all the rhinestones, just to ensure their security and make sure those babies don't come off. Now, I did not end up liking what it looked like being just the silver paint and the attempted black chrome. It wasn't enough. I did stop and, take pictures and say, okay, there it is. But I wasn't happy with it. So I ended up going back to the set and adding this black glitter powder to the black section of the nails, and then the silver iridescent glitter flakes on the middle part, and that made it way better and better to look at. So I was definitely more confident in showing these nails off than the original end result. So I'm not sure if it's because like the regular nail polish dries as it's going and you can see all the, you know, little bumps and little mistakes, I guess, that are in there, you know, unlike gel polish, which doesn't dry until you cure it and it kind of makes a smooth, slick surface. The regular polish just doesn't. I just did not like it, so this step was necessary. It was necessary, and it looks fantastic. So, if you're gonna do them, do it like this. I'm wiping off the black powder from the silver section, or just kind of moving the little flakes back and forth to put them where they need to be, it's just the alcohol just barely wet. Most of the liquid will go onto the paper towel or napkin, whatever it is that you have, but it's barely wet, and then, you know, just clean those little areas up with the brush and the alcohol.